Welcome to Chrysalis Invictus Gemini. This is a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or chart ruler. And it's for summer solstice or Litha. And we're just going to see what kind of energies are coming in, what kind of messages there are for you at this time of year, and what you might be able to expect, and if there's any advice for you. So, I'm just laying out the cards here. This is from the Inner Child Oracle. You got 2 cards of guidance or direction from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And then we have life, love, and career. So there are your cards. Let's start here with the card from the Litha Oracle. And this is Lemonade. All right, Gemini. This really seems to be a theme so far for summer solstice, that there is a extracting everything you can out of a situation that is not ideal, and embracing new possibilities. Here, I feel that there is an idea that is only going to be in a small form. It's just a kernel of an idea as you're coming into summer solstice. So we'll take a look at the other cards and see what else they have to say. The guardian of the reading from the Folklore Oracle is the Dryad. Okay, yeah, so things unseen. There's like a little kind of fairy pixie energy of mischief around you. And so pay attention to anything that happens during this time that may seem, like if something keeps going missing, or just little acts of mischief around you that seem kind of strange, but almost playful. And take it with a playful energy. So any roads that are closed, know that the redirection is in your best good. Okay, and from the Druid wisdom, we have Avalon apples. Does it say line? Line your seeds of passion up row by row. Time moves differently when you nurture what you love to grow. Meditate with ruby Solstice to awaken the heart's yearning. Okay. There's like a spicy energy. So there's sour and spicy. Definitely. And then with the apple, it's meant to be sweet. But your sweet, I feel, Gemini, is spicy or sour at first. So interesting. We'll get into that a little bit more as we go through. And then from the Avalon Magic deck, we have this here, and it says, surrender yourself to the flow of life and see how you can influence your future. Keep moving forward and your life's purpose will manifest. Surrender feels really relevant here as well because of all of these little kind of mischievous energies. It feels like there are things that are chipping away at guiding you in a certain direction, and we'll see about direction here because you've got 2 cards. So we have number 42, wide open. Okay, so there's that embracing, surrendering, and even here I feel like this can be a feeling you get when you've sort of reached your end or your limit. You don't really know where else to go. You see, she's isolated on this rock. It's kind of difficult to get back to where she came from, but she's opening herself up. This may be very difficult for you, Gemini, but release the urge to intellectualize the next stage and embrace playfulness. More of a heart-led energy, I would say. And then number 39, protecting treasure. Okay. So this is, again, there's a little bit of mischief around there. The treasure that you think you're supposed to be protecting, I think this is sort of a little bit of the trickery. It's like when you feel like something is the most important thing, and when you fixate on that, the joke is that that's not the most important thing. And this is really, really true around summer solstice, that you're going to find that there is a contradiction or a contradiction energy that's coming up that you may want to respond to with seriousness or urgency, make a plan, protect, but the call is to be wide open and to surrender. And let's look at the inner child and see. Speak to yourself with kindness. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so and this really has this wide open energy of of here, right? This bright light before you, and allowing yourself to speak and hear beautiful things about yourself, and also the changes that you've made perhaps in yourself over time, that you are not who you once were, and people are not necessarily who they once were. So there may be something there, but let's take a look at the tarot cards. So for overall life energy, we've got the Knight of Cups. Ooh, so love coming in. A message of love that will change the course of where you think you are or where you've been. So if you are currently in a situationship or a relationship that is in newer stages, this could be a total pivot. I feel like this is not a love message coming in necessarily from the person that you're with. If you're in a committed relationship, I don't think this applies to you. If you're in a committed relationship, let's take a look. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Wands. For those of you, yeah, okay, so this is why I'm feeling that. I feel like there is an end to some relationship for Gemini coming up around the summer solstice, and this may come in quite suddenly, but it will become unbearable, almost like you picked up something that you didn't know was hot, like it had been sitting on the oven and gathering heat, but it burns you all of a sudden in such a way that the decision to leave it behind is irrevocable. You can't unsee what you're about to see. And I think this is true in bringing in a tremendous amount of passion, but I'm really getting it's a light bulb moment. So for those of you who are in a relationship, this feels like a light bulb moment related to love. So an emotional message that comes in perhaps from your loved one in the case of a relationship, and I'm talking long-term relationship here. I'm talking about like marriage or years. I'm not talking about like long-term 8 months or something like that. This is an established relationship. There's a new beginning for it that involves a little bit of youthful kind of play and juice coming into it. And I do feel like this message that's coming in for you from the Knight of Cups is loving in nature, but it could be something that someone reveals to you, a compliment. I'm getting this speak to yourself. I'm getting a compliment from someone from the past that actually boosts your confidence in a way that removes obstacles, including the obstacle of a relationship that is maybe catered toward or involving a a person that is not necessarily for your highest confidence or good. But in the longer term relationship, it's finding a new way to communicate your heart in this wide open. This is where you're making space for beautiful things to come in. So, including this compliment and this letting go of a burden. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles for your career. All right, so I'm seeing a new beginning in career around this time, or at least a seed being planted, or I know that's so cliche, but it's like, to me, this is already planted. This is under the surface, but it's starting to receive sunlight somehow. So something that was once an idea is starting to grow. Something is coming, igniting in you, but you need to have this message come in. You need to have this boost in confidence, this sweet and sour, this mischievous, playful energy in order to access this. And it's going to be really good for you ultimately. So if you're looking for a change in your job, it would be something new coming in. I'm really getting the energy though of something self-made here. So if you had like a business or something in mind at some point, it may be coming forward, or this could be a new way to approach the current position you're in, and a new way of developing skills even, or starting school. And then I'm just going to finish the reading by reading about this dryad energy. So it says illusion. And so if you don't know, a dryad is a tree nymph. And nymphs are everywhere. And they are potentially infinite, immortal, and they reside in the trees. So there is something for me here that involves paper, even maybe finding something in a notebook or an old love letter that was written, especially for those in a relationship, like an old love letter that rejuvenates an old feeling or brings life. But the guidance from the dryad is we all look at things in our own way, see things from our own perspective. We create little illusions to help us cope when we're faced with situations that don't completely match how we view things. Sometimes we convince ourselves of small untruths to lessen the blow just enough to make it tolerable. Dryad is a reminder that no matter how unprepared you are to face reality, it's preferable to see your own truth for exactly what it is. When you hold on to illusions to lessen discomfort in your daily life, you simply postpone the inevitability of tackling whatever is challenging you. Dryad tells you to put aside these illusions and allow you to avoid facing reality, even if it's painful. I am ready to face reality and deal with my challenges. Interesting. So you're ready to face reality, but you're surrendering yourself to the flow. And I think that's what that open heart is that you're open to everything good and bad. But I do see some beautiful things coming in for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for joining today, and we'll see you soon.